Hello, everyone. DBJ again. I got to thank everybody, all the subscribers, all the people who bothered looking at the video, liking them. I thank you very, very much. And the thing I'm most impressed about is not even the people subscribing or even want to look at or listen to any of the videos, but just the intelligent discourse out there. Thank you very much. There's actually intelligent people on the planet, guys, and I appreciate that so much, and just being pulled into that family. And I could care less whether you agree or disagree with me, but just being intelligent about it, I love it. Golly. So thank you very much, and I got to thank Andrew again for linking me into you guys. And but this one's going to be, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer. But this video is going to be about introspection, about looking at yourself. What do you want out of the game? And I don't mean like I want treasure, I want power, I want to be the best, I want to impress everybody. I'm talking about looking deeper. And I'm going to segue a little bit into a personal issue, and it's going to tie back to role playing, but this has to do with being like a nerd or a geek when I was young, and had this toy. It was a Micronaut, and you could put a battery inside of him, and his eyes lit up, and if you turned the thing in his head, his body would light up and whatnot. And I kept him in this Spider-Man lunchbox, and I was probably too old for it at the time, so maybe 10 or 12 or something like that. And anyway, some kid in school, and he had his little cronies with him. One was the bully, the rest were just like followers, whatever. 3 or 4 of them. And grabs the toy, and he's like, it's mine. And, here I am, I'm starting to cry, and I'm like all choked up, and I'm like, give it back, and it's, just wanting to shake and fume. And, of course, he takes the thing, he tosses it across the room, he's like, what are you going to do? And here's the part where I'm going to wax a little depressing, whatever. I told him that I would pretty much beat him to death. And he's like, well, what are you going to do? You going to beat us all? And I just looked him in the eye, and I was like, no, I'm going to take you out. And I remember the switch in my head clicked, and I was, here, I love reading comic books, I love superheroes, not a violent guy, hey, let's all get along. But I remember, like, something clicked in my head that just was like, there's more of them than me, and I don't care. I'm going to smash this kid's face until my arm gets tired or they knock me into unconsciousness. And I just remember growing up and then hearing about, like, school violence and things like that, and going, you know what, like I'm that kid. Like, I was that kid. Like, if I had a gun, I could see myself doing something like that. And the results of that were that I did start beating the kid in the head. I had a dent in that lunchbox. Man, I could never get that out. I swear I hit him about 8 or 9 times, but I know a teacher pulled me off of him. The other kids ran. I remember spending the day in the principal's office. I wasn't the kind of kid that would lie about it, told him what happened. In hindsight, I remember talking to him with my mom and dad and how this kid was a problem with, other kids and whatnot. And all I remember was like, it was just like a lot of blood. And I don't want to say it reminded me of blood. I just remember, it's kind of morbid, but I just remember like those old ketchup packets you could like step on and like squirt them everywhere. And you'd have fun like trying to figure out, if you'd step on it the right way, it would squirt somewhere. And I was just like really like unattached from it. But bring it back to role-playing games, I just remember being with my friends and like having an outlet for everything in my life. Aggression and joy and imagination and wanting to be something. And I know role-playing games allow us to vent. And it's definitely not a substitute for real psychological help, but there are many times when, you get a guy, he wants to be a power gamer, and it's like, well, what do you want from the game? Oh, I want all the power. Well, there's probably something else you want. Are you feeling powerless at home or at work or something, and this is the way to do it, is job stress so stressful that, listen, I just want to escape to another world. I don't care. I don't care if I'm a bartender on another planet. I just want to escape. You know, are there certain things in your own life, whether it's an immediate stress, like you're worried about the future of your job, or whether it's like long-term thing, like, you know, thinking about some kind of trauma or memories that you had or guilt that you've had for a long time. And role-playing games allow us to exercise a lot of those. And that's why there's such a connection. People get, you know, they rage flip a table when their character dies because they've associated, consciously or unconsciously, some event in their life, whether it happened that day or happened years ago, to that role-playing event. And so I would challenge everyone to find out, like, what do you want from your games? Whether it's something that happened immediately in your life, whether it happened in the past or the future. Is it the camaraderie? Is it just the idea of being together with a group of people and surviving a hardship? Is it feeling powerless against authority and you just want to buck authority? Is it feeling like you're a person in authority and you don't want to make a decision? You just want to go along for the ride and enjoy yourself. Any of those things. You know, a lot of us old heads have played the game so long now that, you know, we have our own kids and we have our own lives and we're married and we've got responsibilities and such. And so we're looking at it from a different end than, say, you know, high school and college kids, because we're looking at it as an escapism from all the responsibilities of life. Whereas when you're starting when you're very young, you don't feel like you're trusted to have those responsibilities, you want to gain some of those. So I would just challenge everyone out there and pass it along, to find out what it is about any game you play, all the games you play, all the characters you play, the worlds you build. Why do you do it? And look deeper than the surface. Yeah, sure, it could just be, well, I just want to have fun and escape the world. Turn my phone off for a couple hours. Don't bother me.